you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, you worked hard, you played well,
Yeah.
and you're here. So
Feeling
you deserve
grateful.
There you go.
It. See, James, how's that? Is that a troll for you?
Do you know, I was expecting Dan to say, you know, I'd go in the mirror in the bathroom, I'd say to myself, you're a piece of shit. And then go into the server and be like, no, I'm not.
Give yourself a couple slaps on the face. Just get yourself
Nice.
in the mood.
You got this, North.
Right, it's game time, North, starting on the CT side. They have all the advantages. They just need to land themselves some headshots. MSL's
Oh.
utility man. HNB's going to make the play. Christy with the support flashbang. So far, they are 2 for 0. It is about how you finish, though.
That is very true.
That was dramatic.
I was gonna say that's what she said, but so I finished The Office recently, and so, you know.
All right. Well, Nico, he's gonna have to turn into Dwight Schrute. All right. Takes down one.
Master Assassin.
Yep.
Dwight Schrute.
Yep. Business as usual here. See if he's able to find more, though. Ooh, North. They're giving him some 1v1 attempts here. He's actually isolating these duels pretty well, but it looks like they are playing the crossfires at this point. But, oh, on the flank, actually. Oh, no, not like this. Gade falls as well.
Yeah, that's so satisfying.
And it feels like there's an opening here for Nico if he's able to keep whittling these numbers of the north side. He's pressing on forward. Oh, spots one out. 30 seconds left, though, and he needs to make this bomb. Get it onto that bomb site.
Oh my god,
Still-
these taps!
Yep, they're still peeking him. There's still opportunity here, but okay, they're swarming him from multiple directions now. MSL is able to clean things up. All right, if North didn't convert that, that would raise a lot of questions. But Nico, great attempt, but a much needed pistol victory for North here on map 2.
Can we just appreciate the P250 on the pistol round? Thank you.
Yeah, you made it look
I
good.
note that
Yeah.
every time.
It looks so loving. It's just the way that he used that PT50. He took his time. It's very relaxed.
So loving the way he shoots people in
So
the
it's just-
face
and
with a gun.
And the PT50, it makes such an
The sound.
unintimidating sound. It's just like...
It's a paintball gun. Yeah. Force buy, though, comes out from Heroic. This is what we wanted to see. Gade, though, shuts it all down at ramp.
Very nice. This is perfect. This is
These are good early tests.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
early tests for North. Yeah, let's just throw some crap at them. See if they can avoid the flying turds. Just get them off to a good start. We need some confidence there.
Turds have been evaded.
The fan is clean.
For now, at least. Borup can still get a couple kills. It's always possible with the Eagle, but you can see that the expectations there. Really hard on this map. Coming in from the upper position is really difficult.
That cat sticker's underrated.
Very nice. One more, perhaps, would be really good damage to keep them honest. And they need some crushing rounds. Like, North really needs some crushing rounds. That's like another aspect to this as well that I would... Like, one other way you can approach this as Heroic is to make North's life as difficult as possible. Never give them... Like, in rounds where maybe you would normally maybe give up a couple eco kills with a Glock or something, just like save. Like, just like put them in a position where they're not getting kills. Put them in a position where it feels like to them every kill they get is hard. Like
earned.
they have to like
Make 'em
really
earn it.
work for it.
Yes.
That also helps from that psychological game aspect.
Yeah. This round, for example, would be a great opportunity to do just that. You can see that Heroic, they're just being annoying. They're not just running
Trying
out.
to bait grenades.
Yeah, bait some grenades. Just ice North a little bit here on the kick.
Eric's always talking about ice.
Yeah, he loves
Icing
it.
kickers. Yeah. Well. Eric looking for some headshots, waiting for the smokes to go. Maybe for a push from the CTs, but that's unlikely. No need to take too many risks. They're playing close on B, our North. Christu and his teammate Gade. So they're expectant. And MSL's on the flank. He's coming in from the back. That's going to allow a third man to rotate through connector. And there's a lot of information. He's got his Barong immediately, though, so doesn't want to outstay his welcome. Now, with 40 seconds, Heroic could consider making a play back towards A, because they have to figure that there's most people towards B now with MSL's position as such. But the bomb hasn't been spotted just yet. Stavn may have to die here and just have the bomb hiding just for everything else to work out. In fact, look at the rotation on the radar. Never mind what's happening on the B bomb site. Cajun B is abandoning A, and the bomb's still creeping. So this is about the bomb plant, but he's quickly realized they've cleared it. He's still on the site, and I don't think Cajun's going to get that bonus money he was looking for.
All right, so this is going to be the full buy for Heroic finally now, and I can't wait to see how this goes. You know, North, they have a couple ways they could approach this. They know that their opponents will have AKs, and they themselves have an AWP. So, you know, it's not like they all have, you know, 3 SMGs and 2 M4s, and they maybe you would think about shutting down close choke points. So with MSL having the AWP out, I'm like to think that North are probably going to try to play quite passive. I hope that they're able to find success for their sake, though, with a passive style. On Dust 2, that didn't work for them.
I hope you find success, Dan.
Thank you.
See, James, I'm trying to be
Likewise.
positive.
I hope
Thank
you
you.
also find
Appreciate it.
success. And everyone watching at home.
Yes.
Very good, Eric. Very good. Small steps, baby steps. Oh, this is looking difficult for North. Stavn doesn't see what's below him. Surely the radar will reveal a question mark or something. There's the information just in time. And then there were 2. As I say, that Gade is the last man standing now.
Ouch.
And what is this? 499 HP for his opponent. Not very ideal for him, but Gade is very, you know, he's full of clutch, but I can't imagine. I think this would be a self-preservation situation for him.
They haven't taken
Tried to
any
hide in
damage.
plain sight.
Heroic.
They've taken 1, Dan. Let's not mislead the audience. Nico's on
I didn't
99.
even see that. I couldn't even see that.
Maybe you need your glasses, Dan.
I need a lot of things.
But that round is actually pretty alarming that, well, one, they didn't take any 1 point damage, sorry. And that every fight seemed like it was a pick, which is kind of weird. That's hard to do on train as a T side to get 5 picks like that. So maybe North gotta have more bait setups. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and like pay attention more to like specifically how North open up their outside control, because there's like a series of grenades and positions you need to work through to shut down the choke points. And if you don't do that well, you can get picked, or this happens and a player like Tessus is going to get out there for free. Picks off Christo,
Double.
and Tessus is now creeping back around E-Box. He goes down, but he's done his job effectively. He's created a hole in the defense, and his teammates are now pushing up Ivy, a couple of them. And they're going to go for the Ivy and T-main split. Borup with the kill onto AZ. This is very good from Heroic so far, I must say.
Yeah, MSL on the bomb site. He's all alone right now, and it looks like all 4 Heroic players will be approaching
There we
him. He has to
go.
put up a big hold. He finds one, looking for more. Still playing around the bomb train, but Borup quickly takes him out in return. Gade, once again, try to save this gun into the upcoming round.
I'm still mystified, actually, in that previous round, bearing in mind the nature of the choke points from the T perspective, how they managed to win the entire round. Not just like get through them, but win the whole round with next to no damage taken, even from any grenades, a molly in main, anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
It's really bizarre.
a lot of that sort of thing comes down to North being able to shut down the choke points more aggressively, having setups around E-Box and ladder and T-main and so on, which is something that you mentioned, James, that you wanted to see North take away positions like T-main, and I completely agree. It's really important, but the problem is that they have to show Heroic that it's risky for Heroic to try to just run out every round. Because if they're not able to show that, then Heroic will probably run out every round. But if you can slow Heroic down so they're defaulting at a kind of like moderate pace, then as the CTs you get time to actually make that mid-round pop flash play into T-main or make that Ivy play or whatever it might be. You actually have the time to do it suddenly.
What worries me about North is also that, one, they're not really taking too much control and they're letting the action come to them. And 2, is that they don't really have that star player that can play like this. They don't have that Coldzera at the hell position that's just going to find 2 frags out of nowhere. They don't have that Rain player at E-Box that can also just shut down his position. their personnel isn't really bad, but it doesn't have that one player that you know can just multi-frag from his spot and just break the round open or just shut down Heroic at some kind of position.
Yeah, to me,
I just watched that round on my other computer as it came up on the stream, and what I noticed was once Cajun B was, I think he was sprayed through smoke towards Ivy, and once he was taken out, it basically compromised the positions of everybody else on the A bomb site because AZ was by E-box with an MP9, then he's got no cover, so he tries to move towards main to do something aggressive because he's in a really bad spot and he gets peeked from ladder and there's no one there to trade, and then there's that boost over the smoke and Ivy is they're kind of scrambling to do something. So just with the one pick, they were all in horrible positions, didn't have control of ladder or again nobody main, nobody sandwich. So that was a really tough situation from North just on that first kill.
MP9 at the E-box, not my favorite position. It's E-box in general is kind of hard to play. Yeah, you really need a lot of support on CT to really get the kills at that spot. But yeah, this
Yeah, there's a handful of pros that make it look deceivingly easy.
it's deceivingly easy. That's the word, deceivingly, because it's not an easy spot to play.
It's not. It's hard. It is a difficult spot. Yes.
Because you're always worried about team middle or you're going to sneak out ladder, kill your teammates.
Yep. They could peek to the left or the right of E-box on top of that. So
you really have to have. It's really nice to have one of the choke points locked down, either mid or ladder room, if you have a person E-box, kind of like heavy.
We've got some stereo frags here on the B bomb site, which is quite handy because that was a fast rotation from North. You saw some promise with the first Deagle shot, but there wasn't much else happening after that. Now, they had a good start. That's really just been jettisoned into the sun, but they run on another buy once again here, North. So they will go for that second AWP as well with Cajun B. So we'll see how they change their setup.
just so scary if you're North already. The money has ballooned for Heroic here. There's one player above 10K on KD, and everybody else is at 6K, 8K, 9K. Those are not the numbers you would like to see if you're a fan of North here, because the unrelenting pressure now from Heroic can be so difficult to deal with, especially given that Heroic hasn't even had to bust out any of their pocket strats. Those are things that they're really known for on their map picks, on Nuke and Train in particular. They have these little ways to just get into a bomb site, just brute force it with nades and utility and good trading and spacing, and every round that Heroic's won has been a default. They haven't even really had to do anything too tricky just yet. So North have to figure out a couple of things. One, how to take that space away so Heroic isn't comfortable just running a default, and then they're going to have to figure out a set play after that, because that's likely what they'll call. Actually, it looks like Heroic are maybe going for a set play here.
North are on a double AWP, so that would certainly be a good way to deal with that. AZ with E-box control there. It's be difficult to hold on to this. He hasn't got too much support, actually. He's very, very forward. And yeah, AZ will go down. The bomb's being taken down as well on the trades here. So the trades initially looking pretty good. Cajun on that AWP able to take down one. And MSL as well also chimes in. So finally we're getting some good success coming from North. But Storm is in a position to cause some problems here. I don't think that they understand where he is. He gets the timing onto MSL. Now the question is how the next frags will fall. Christo, oh, that was a huge moment. If Kaden hits that, maybe there's a chance for Heroic. But North hold on with 3 players left alive, and finally it seems like North are able to stop that kind of A scrimmy style.
Yeah, the double ops really help. Allow confidence of North of holding their spots as they're getting the picks. And that's something you really need sometimes. Just gotta believe in yourself, Alex. Like
Yeah.
I believed in you winning your matches yesterday.
I wish I had that. All right, early.
Oh, how about this for some aggression? Yeah. We spoke about the confidence, and MSL has gone deep. He has the angle now. He might hold this while, I'd say, a teammate goes for a push. We've got Christo rotating out of Christo, and the combat still comes. That was really important. Up close and sandwich with the AWP, but they won't pursue the main position. They've got a molly deep, but they will choose to fall back with that pick, it seems.
Tess is trying to get a look in towards the A site. He's actually going to creep out. Nobody has coverage. Oh my god, if he gets under MSL's scope, that could just be the round over. Oh my god.
no.
He knows how huge this is. He hasn't been spotted just yet. There's a player backlines. No idea. Christo has absolutely no idea. He's watching Ivy. And Tessus, he knows he can just leave MSL there. And he's just telling his team right now, guys, hold. Let me get the information for you. And he
Oh
spotted
my
so
goodness.
much. He spotted so much. 2 instant kills coming up here. Served up on a plate by Tessus. And that is so stunning. Instantly, before anyone has any idea what what is going on, the round has already been lost. Tessus.
I thought they fell
Oh
back
my
from
God.
main after the sandwich pick because they didn't really have any position on ladder, but then no one just looked at it at all, it seems.
Yeah, no one looked at ladder. That's the problem right there. That's a huge problem in that round because you still have 5 people left alive, and you just threw it away. You literally just crumped it up. You're like, this is a nice round. I was going to be so good, and then you just threw it in the garbage.
Wow.
So brilliant of Tessus
yeah.
to like realize as soon as he's like under the Orpo who scoped in, he just knows he can win the round.
Wow. That was awesome to see
Yeah.
how he's able to dismantle it. I've seen Tessus make a lot of great mechanical plays. That's one of his first big brain plays I've seen from him, and
Yeah.
that's really impressive.
Yeah. It's really easy to just decide to, let's say, because it wouldn't be a bad thing to do to just take that kill, like get into connector, take the kill on MSL from behind, and then just hold on to that position. That's also like a pretty fine play to make, but he went for the round-winning play here. He knew he could get more information. He knew he was behind the entire enemy team. And he handled that perfectly. No hesitation there as well. Some players will, when they have kills lined up like that, they'll overthink it, and he just makes sure he gets the instant one-tap on the player that he can't miss that one-tap on, because if he goes to the player far away, there's always a possibility with it, because that player also has their back to you, that the one-tap might not actually happen, and then if you spend too many bullets on that first player, you end up, potentially costing yourself being able to take down the second player as well.
I have to wonder what the interaction was at, I think, the Ivy position that maybe broke down that north setup just a little bit there. Because I still don't understand exactly how no one was watching ladder.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Absolutely no one was watching ladder. There was a player who was
Christo was back
Hell
lane
or something? Yeah, he was back lane, but old bomb.
Right.
But who was the Ivy? Who was the other player on A? There's another one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think around Hell or
I'm
something.
watching it. I'll get back to you.
I think that's an MSL fault if they have 2 in the Ivy and one Ivy, one Hell. You should let them out mid.
I think he was Sandwich, actually, is my guess.
Let the Sandwich guy kind of.
AZ was Sandwich,
Okay, it was Sandwich, okay.
and they went 3B. Christy went to basically CT spawn,
Oh.
and then Old Bomb.
Oh,
Nice
okay.
shots.
Ooh.
There we go. That's really, really good. MSL's getting more aggressive too. It's walking up. Oil doesn't actually have to push any further just yet. He's got teammates who can catch up and assist him if he wants. The bomb's not able to go down just yet. He's going all the way deep though, and Katie might actually find a way to surprise him unless MSL does check for this. Oh, that's a whiff, and there's the trade.
Oh, no.
And all of a sudden, Christo is very far away. That looked like North were going to win that round actually.
It's a
Yeah,
4v3.
it was.
Yeah.
They should have kind of had a good chance.
I was surprised to see MSL go so
that round we
deep.
were talking about.
Yeah.
That round we were talking about, they ended up with no eyes on Ivy or ladder. So AZ was stuck in Sandwich because they had no idea what was going on in either direction. Christo, I don't know, I'm not sure why, but he went back to CT spawn and then walked back to Old Bomb. So we had 2 players in B, Christo and CT spawn, maybe worst case scenario in case there was a creep out of Ivy, but then they didn't have eyes on Ivy into A or ladder into A.
That's
in a 5 versus 4.
It's so surprising. It feels like a huge breakdown in communication and people not being on the same page with the CT setups
Maybe
for that to happen.
maybe like have some kind of like call where if you get picks, just put your back against the wall, make the angles as wide as possible so people can't sneak by you. How many times have we seen already in just this match alone where people are sneaking around north and they have no idea that people are pushed up inside, that someone just lurked out ladder or someone that lurked out T-Con? Kind of make you wonder that maybe just kind of step back a little bit, have wider angles.
I do wonder if maybe MSL was trying to do something looser than they used to, because he's a man of structure and small detail. but you saw him in sandwich with the AWP. So I don't know if there was necessarily a plan for that, because like, are you going for a main take there? Because they had 2 people in that position. So are you going for a play main? And if so, then when they bailed, it was kind of anarchy afterwards. So it felt like it was outside of protocol, and proved to be quite costly for them.
I think it's good for them to take those kind of picks and to, as you say, be a lot looser, but you still have to have fallback ideas as a CT after you get these picks. Because then if it's only a pick and you're just kind of out, okay, whatever after that, it's kind of a half-baked kind of plan. And even though people kind of are loose, they do certain things to enable that to happen. It's not like, I'm just going to run out here backwards or something. There's always still methodically thoughts behind the aggressive picks. You know what I mean? There's just too many holes in the North defense.
Yeah, that's it's one of those rounds where it feels like you gain quite a lot of insight into where some of the problems are right now. It's really unfortunate. We'll see if there's any amount of recovery or adjustments that may come about for North, and still on 4 rounds. So,
Oh my goodness.
That's rough.
Shut
Losing
it
the
down.
ID player straight away. Look at Cadian go!
Look at him go!
He's on a 100-meter dash. And he's going to go straight towards this old bomb angle. He realizes he hears that player close by, sees the barrel. Oh my goodness! Cadian somehow finds that one against MSL, adding insult to injury. Vinegar rubbed into the wound. Oh, there's some small recovery here, but Cadian is going to whiff that close when I thought that he would make things even more annoying. But it looks like Cristo might just keep this round alive for North as he holds on to the bomb train. Well played by Cristo. Picks up another kill, leaving it all on Nico, but they don't know where he is just yet. When he has the bomb too.
Yeah, this is probably the last place to look for him, but he's not going to be ready for the player in connector. Oh, he's got the 1 versus 1 actually, and he's looking for Gade. He's kept things quiet. He might get a sound cue from this. A very awkward situation. That's just nothing going the way of North. I can't believe that, Frag. I'm still reeling from that. So much anarchy. Heroic thriving from it. A crab walk. Oh, I can't believe he's won that.
Wow.
That's so mad. Well, I wonder what he was. What was he pre-aiming actually? At first, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Because it's a strange peak. I mean, it
Yeah.
works. It works, but it's a really weird. It's a really weird peak, but yeah, can't argue with it. I suppose can't argue with the results.
Maybe he's looking for the feet on the end of the
Oh, maybe,
bomb
yeah.
train or something.
Hmm.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
He's trying to snipe some feet, see if he walked over to the other side.
He's in the air. He's in the
my
air.
God.
He didn't land when he shot that, didn't he?
Oh,
I don't think he did. The real thing for North here is that they have to string a couple rounds together now, though. They can't let this one fall, or it might just be a dominant heroic half. Probably would be 10-5 if North do lose this one. This is such a big round for North here, and they're looking to be taking some kind of control. At least their nades are implying that towards T-Con, but they actually quickly fall off into a 3-2 setup, and it's rather passive for the players on this outer yard. This is not exactly what we were hoping for from North in the pregame, but we'll see if they're able to make it work. They've actually feigned control towards ladder and T-Con with their utility usage, so perhaps some audible cues will have to come out of Heroic if they want to retake this space.
People would argue that Ivy is the most difficult position to play, and Cajun B's having to play it with an MP9, which stops him really helping anybody towards T-Connector, or if anybody's coming at a ladder. He can't really take those fights at all, and he can't peek. I mean, even when he was just jiggling, he was dying towards Ivy as well, so that's a really tough situation, because most of those duels have some kind of range to them. The different jobs you could have from Ivy, so that's a really hard spot for North as well.
Yeah, I think for Cajun B, he's going to have a good route when they don't hit the Ivy. So if they come out like mid or ladder, maybe he should overtake the hell and sandwich area to really cut the rotates for his teammates.
And they get to split out the ladder, and look at the pace there. Perfect coordination out of ladder and out of team main. And this passive approach from North this is the problem. If you allow the T's to just run out together like that, and you don't split up their attack and split up their timings, then I mean, again, like if you just like in your mind replay how Heroic as a wave across from Pop and also Team Main just start to just close in towards that bomb site, taking all of the space with all of the angles all together. If that happens, you will lose the round.
Yeah.
So what North should have done a little better, because I mean they had a weird setup where they had one person in tower, one person in hell, and then Cage and MP9 in the Ivy. The person in hell should not have been the point of contact. I think it should have been the tower guy, where he would make the first shot, take the first shot, whatever, and then he hides, and then he lets the hell person kind of either backstab or get 2 easy kills if they don't completely clear out his spot or whatnot. And then when they get the contact on him, Cage and B can help him out through the Ivy, or the person Tower AZ can off-angle it from either the bomb train, or if he's still in tower, he can peek from there.
Yeah, just feels that North, when they fall into these passive setups, which we've seen them do now on Dust 2 and Train, they just get picked apart. Heroic are too good when you give them that kind of space. When they have that sort of real estate, they are using it to great effect.
Yeah, it just really is that they're just playing those fundamentals really well. There's just a lot of strength you can find from the positions that they are given, and they just have to at that point just execute the basics really well, and you're good to go.
I think with the MP9 that needs to be towards ladder.
Yeah.
Normally they only had, everyone else had an M4 or like some kind of rifle.
Nice by Gade.
I think it needs to be ladder or somewhere really close, like even sandwich. But yeah, this is going to be a round for North unless Heroic can turn things around here, because they've got in a 4 versus 2 situation now. Cadian's lost his position, and with an AWP, that makes things even more awkward since North have already swarmed.
So North might be able to get a 6th round out of this half, and honestly, that would be an amazing result because of how much they've actually struggled. Cadian there looking for some extra damage. Maybe he wants to buy some time for Storm there. If Cadian was to fire a shot, start threatening towards that B site, maybe Storm would have some distraction to work off of. But he will just try to walk out here, clearing everything as he goes. So he's found the first player. Oh, has to get the frag though. This needs to really happen quickly. This kill, if it's to really pan out for Storm, and it looks like it won't. Well done by North. Gades, I think you've got to credit Gade there, getting those 2 kills immediately. That slowed down Heroic just enough to allow for North to win that round.
Yeah, that was great stuff from Gade. He hasn't been able to get involved in most of these rounds, given that he's been playing that B-side anchor and is often on the rotates, but Heroic just running into the gun. They knew that Gade saved, actually, but I think they probably almost gave North too much credit in probably adapting where Gade's position would be or where that AUG would end up, and they run right into it. But very nice of Gade to pick up those frags nonetheless. He was presented some 50-50 fights, came out on top of both.
Oh, that's a sick shot from Cadian. He gets away with 6 HP as well. Well, actually, he doesn't, because there's the follow-up with the HE, very nicely done. AZ walks in the smoke. Here we go. This is what you want to see. Let's get some sneaky stuff here. Cadian, or sorry, AZ with the ninja play there in the smoke. But trade from Cristo will certainly make things better for North. But there's an opportunity to reset here. The bomb is still in the hands of Heroic. That's a great kill from Borup, finding Cristo. And again, they can reset here. They've got over a minute and the bomb in a 2v2 on Train. They're going. They are relentless, though, on this A side. Yeah, absolutely relentless.
That was an insane push from Borup.
Mm-hmm.
I almost thought he was going to find it, too. It's even crazier. Stown, though, 1v2. He's picked up Cadian's op. That was dropped earlier in the round. Trying to make it happen. Moving through the bathrooms. The showers. Looking for some kind of opportunity here. There's actually no one on the B bomb side, so if he does opt to go there, he may have a chance, but he'll actually run right into the AUG here. Oh, he jumps down and gets Cade. There's no way that should happen. Oh, and he almost gets the kill on Occasion B, but now he has all of the information. He'll be able to plant this bomb and now move to a new spot. Occasion B still just has this op. He has no utility either, so it'll be so tough to get Stown out of his position. And Stown, he's playing it so tightly. Oh, just barely missing the shot is Occasion there. And both of these players now have great information on each other. It's just who hits the shot, and Cajun will find it.
That was such a smart play from Storm to take the 1v1 with the the landing accuracy of the AWP is just like non-existent, which is actually and it allows for ridiculous stuff like that. And I was actually sad that he dropped the AWP there in the 1v1, but yeah, that's pretty painful. Heroic though, they managed to find their way towards 8 rounds. North with 7, so this does look competitive. We'll have to find out if North can turn things around in this series after the break. Welcome back. Here we go. Second half between North and Heroic, and for all of North's difficulties in the first half, they did win the pistol, and they won enough buy rounds to scrape together 7 rounds. So very competitive scoreline going into the second half. So for this series, you know, one would hope that this is where they can really turn things around. They're on that T side, so we'll see what they've got in store for us here.
Yeah, North has a pretty... Oh, go ahead.
Look at the rotation. Already 3 people in for Heroic, and they've pushed Stavn all the way through Ivy, so they've got a good idea of what's going on. But with pistols, it's all about landing those headshots. There'll be plenty of numbers, but we see a lot of multi-frags. That flash will do a little, but Cadian and NiKo will get off to a good start, giving themselves a 2-man advantage, close to 3, but not quite. There is a HE in play for NiKo as well, maybe not needed though, because Cadian is delivering all those kills, which is great, building some extra money for the AWP to come. I do think that North, there are many different stories of that first half, and all of them, they have a worse score. So they came out pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was actually quite surprised because, again, it was a situation where I felt like Heroic were really able to exploit so many things. But as you say, still somehow North did win like 4 legit gun rounds. So that's really where the difference is, I suppose. But Heroic did pick up the pistol.
Sapphire. Just like the knife, shining on the 1s and 2s.
And blue.
Good read there from Stone, able to take down Gate on the outside, and looks like this will be pretty clean, actually flawless anti-eco for the Heroic side. That's always scary if you're North, letting the CTs build that economy, but they'll have a buy into this one. AKs across the board. And some decent utility as well. And I'm very curious as to what the game plan will look like for North. What does MSL have in store for us here?
It's a really good question.
It's a default-ish. Actually, no.
Wait. Look at Heroic. Look at him screaming.
Oh, wow.
It's almost a flying V.
This is crazy. The setup
That was really
Heroic.
wild to just see on the radar. Go on.
Well, they're going to clash it on this inner bomb site as we see this really aggressive setup, as you mentioned, from Heroic. They've got this high ground, yet North have the bomb site, so it's really weird right now. All these retake positions accessible for, and an AK collector for NiKo as well. Christo's lurking outside the A site, but it doesn't actually really matter too much at this point because all of the CTs are already ready to attack inner, so it's like they're the Ts right now. This is very odd. And they have utility to get in there. And this is actually absolutely bizarre. AZ trying to anchor this position. The spray not really working out from the MP9, able to get the kill, but the trade's still going to be successful here for North. Still some utility left on NiKo as he guns down Gade, although there's no time left to defuse at this point, so they'll have to give this one up. Done some good damage though. And Cadian should survive here.
If North landed on the default spot, I think Heroic would have won that round.
Yeah, that was a real heads-up play for them to plant in the 2-lane. That was absolutely necessary, or else that could have been easily isolated.
That's so wild. I mean, who expects 4 CTs
That's not a look. Yeah, that's not a look you get every day.
I have never seen that before.
I don't think I've ever seen that either.
I've never
Actually,
seen that.
I've never seen that.
That's psychological warfare right now. Let's all rush them. Like, Cadian just must be laughing his ass off with something like that. But it's great. Again, if it just how disturbing it is. Like, how can you focus when your opponent is doing some dumb stuff like that? That's what's good about it. Psychological warfare gives you that extra advantage.
Storm has that difficult job of holding down Ivy, but he does have an AWP to do it with, so that's obviously a stark difference. We saw that North lacked AWPs for Ivy. It was hard for them to have the resources for that, but it does help a lot. And it looks like North are pretty much just gearing up for an outside play here.
Whoa,
oh
wow.
my god. Did he...
Oh, the Molotov missed.
Did he,
I think it missed, but it made him it kind of faked him out too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on purpose that it didn't land.
No,
but
that was not on purpose. I think that Molotov was supposed to hit outside the ladder room.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Regardless, the jump down was effective, and it was a interesting look for Tessus there.
Oh my god.
The timing. Okay, well, looks like North are actually dismantling Heroic on their default. AZ, nice little backstab onto Katie in there, and it's going to force Stown and Nico to go for a save here. So North actually picking apart Heroic in a very similar fashion to the first half, it's just that the shoes have swapped.
Yeah, very nice. That first kill is a gift, but that's stuff like that happens in CS. It's a lot of things that are hard to account for, and that was a well finished round by North. They didn't lose a single player, so that's really important. And again, you know, in CS, like across in a best of 3, it's one of the reasons why the best of 3s are really necessary for like the highest degree of competitive integrity, because there is a degree of variance in games. There's like time to adjust that's really required to really find out who the better team is. And the more rounds that you play, ultimately the less the variance should impact the result as to who the better team is. And this could be the turning moment for North. This could be where they really start to bring everything back and they start to get their confidence back, and then their game plan starts clicking a bit better, and their coordination, their team play, their comms, and then maybe they win the map. Then maybe on the third map, you've got North going into it feeling really good. And we'll just have to see. We'll just have to wait and see. But typically speaking, North, they're very good on their respective T sides. They have a lot to dig into in terms of their playbook. Tessus, I'm sure, this round committed not to getting wrecked in the same way as he did in the previous round.
Yeah, but just look at how close Heroic get outside. It's just such a stark contrast with the looks that Heroic were given by North in the first half. Just playing so up close already. The fact that they're able to take this space and feel confident on their lonesome, it's what you have to do on Train. You have to be able to put individuals into some of these spots and just trust them to an extent. And Tessus, I mean, he was taken out last round at this ladder position, but this round might be a different story, and he knows that. His team knows that.
Ooh.
And they entrust him to lock it down. And right now he's doing a great job. Good counter utility from him, and now North back off of the angle entirely. So he's done an excellent job, actually. He has secured that ladder position for what seems to be the remainder of the half, or the round.
Earlier, Cadian threw a smoke to Ivy. Although Storn is the Ivy player, it allows Storn to keep his smoke, and Storn just recently threw his smoke for the second Ivy smoke. We can see this delayed North quite a lot on their default, as they're playing an Ivy-centric default. And the two players will now push from Ivy, trying to split out team main as well. But right here, you can see the defense is pretty good. They've split the attack up. You can see that the team main players cannot really get out, and that allowed the Ivy players here to mostly successfully deal with that Ivy push. Cadian will trade that out, and that's a good defense from Heroic. That's actually the kind of stuff we wanted to see from North on North's CT side, and it's pretty effective.
Yeah, it was proactive in Tessus locking down that position. As you mentioned with the Ivy position, really messed with North's timings. They felt so much pressure that they had to get out of Ivy, that they had to get out of T-Con. With less than 30 seconds in the round, you need to ship it at that point.
Ship it.
They did ship it, and, well, now all they have is a chip in a chair.
Some
I like
chips.
the Molly HE combo in the ladder position. I think it was Forza who would do that Molly on the outside to kind of put you in the corner and then drop 2 HEs in so you're trapped. I think I made a clip of it happening to Azze. It was Forza or Avangard. I can't remember which one, but there are some nice combos to be had there. Speaking of HE grenades, there will be 2. They'll do the job eventually, but at what cost? 4 versus 4. They kind of had position. They don't know 100% that it's clear just yet, but Borop's being proactive in the meantime. We didn't see these kinds of things on the first half.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's the initiative that North just wasn't taking on their CT side. You could see Borup knows he has to change the look up, get this MP9 active, don't just let it sit passively. And not only does he secure this T-Con position, but he gets so much information for his team.
Yeah, they're not rotating it all just yet, and it's partly because I think that they don't have that ladder room control, so it's hard for them to know, is it an Ivy and ladder split, or is it a B play? Those are the two options right now. There is an Ivy lurk as well to slow things down in terms of that rotation. Storm is trying to catch that, and there is a quick rotation, a double back through ladder room, and this is why having ladder room control is so important. It gives you this option for the T side to really fake effectively. That said, they have yet to come out of Ivy. In fact, I think they were slowed down by a nade, and now they're going back to Inner again. And Heroic are still set up for Inner, so this is going to be tough. That's a leg shot. AZ lucky to stay alive. Nico's there from the Cogs position. They are too worried about the AWP to even think about Nico right now, and he's going to swing and annihilate everybody. And it's just going to be left, Christo left here on the Ivy lurk, and there's nothing for him to do at this point. His teammates had to live. They had to plant the bomb. And
I think with the position of Heroic on the A bomb site, they would have been screwed if they had tried to plant the bomb with the MP9 in main, unless they checked for that. But boy, was that rough in either direction.
Yeah, it looked like North are really making a really good call, going for the doubling back into ladder room, especially as they cleared it previously in the round. But unfortunately for them, I think they got deterred by a Molotov or something.
Deterred.
I'm not sure where that Molotov
Well, now they're on
Yeah,
pistols.
I was wondering that too.
And nothing.
So, Christo's a hero here. He needs people to swing. So if there's somebody there, they take the bullets, and then he trades the position. But he needs his team to generally stay alive also, so they can swarm the site for the second kill. So they need like one person to maybe die on the swing. Oh, MSL will get taken out. It's pretty hard when you have so many targets to actually hit one. Your brain will mess things up, but Cadian will deliver his second kill now and hold the high ground. He can just threaten to re-peek, or just re-peek, because why not? Again, Psychological Warfare goes down eventually. It's a 3 versus 2, quickly made 1. That's an important early kill before they can take some position, but Gade, always dangerous in the clutch. 1 versus 3, he's made it 2 now, taking Borapat. Roughly knows where 1 is. That's pretty dangerous, but TeSeS will clean up and collect the AWP.
Yes, smart from Cadian to keep re-peeking there, knowing he's up against pistols mostly. Every kill just dramatically drops the chances for the T side to be able to do anything. And that's where you do need to exert some confidence in moments like that. And I feel like we have seen a steady, confident look from Cadian in this series so far.
Oh yeah, he's peeking, and he's having fun. And every time he peeks, he gets like 1 or 2 kills. So,
So, 13-9 is the score currently. It's looking like Heroic are, well, on a course to 2-0 this at the moment. They are very close to winning this map. North did lose the first map, Dust 2. They struggled, and it has been a better look on Train. But there has been some of the same struggles as there was on Dust 2 at the same time.
Is not too healthy for the North side, but they need to make it work. They need to try to find something here. TeSeS has been such a nuisance at this ladder position. Oh, what is this? A flash play to enable himself? That is quite interesting. Don't see that every day. And good damage already onto Gade there. North are aware of his position. It's just a matter of how much utility do they want to expend to try to flush him out of it. This is such a pivotal spot on the map. And again, more damage. Gade is really playing with fire here. He is now down to 22 HP, and he hasn't even been able to fire a bullet back yet.
So smart that TeSeS removes himself now, because he can't get any more out of that position really, and if they want to take it, they have to nade it. So he's going to get the nades away from them. That's another reason why the ladder position is so important, because the T's have to really clear it. Like in a default, if you're playing default, you have to clear that position because it gives the CTs too much info. It gives them rotation timings that are really good for flanking and so on, and it also prevents you from having a plan B flank if something goes wrong towards your initial inner push and so on and so forth. But also, like, it forces you to use nades on the T side. You got to clear it.
Oh, look at this rotation. I was wondering how long it would take North to actually execute into this B bomb side, because here comes the rotation. Nico will throw some support flashes for his teammates to swing out of connector, and the frags start to stream in. And there's the lurker's been taken out as well, which leaves just one more player. They'll get nothing out of this. They were in a 4 versus 1 situation, I think, around that B bomb site when they started to push. But again, it just took so long. Just when they start to just drag their legs forward, Heroic running into the bomb site with support flashes as well.
Yeah, maybe the idea of taking it so long on T's side is you got to work some position on the map, I think. I think just peeking Ivy's not enough. Maybe try going for a pick or a kill. So it's a bit harder on a map like Train, but just walking inside or waiting inside for until 20 seconds are left, it's just usually disaster for the Ts, because by that point the CTs, as you saw in Heroic, they had a guy pushing T middle. So they don't have to worry about that. They could probably have 1 or 2 people outside at most at that point in the round, over-rotate inside, and just run away with it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's one of those moments where I feel like, you know, we know like what North is capable of, and it's always hard to see a team that's sort of struggling to realize that potential. And you know, Heroic's a team where they're all very motivated, all very much on the same page. You can kind of feel that hungry energy that they have, and they're really on the up right now. They come up, so it contrasts a lot against where North are at right in this moment. But North's still giving it a good go, and we'll see what exactly they can do here. It's not the best buy in the world, but they do have that Galil on Cage and B, so we'll see if they can get something out of this. Looks like Heroic are pretty well prepared for this B push. They got Tessus there, always being a nuisance towards ladder, but they have 2 players on the site itself. Good kill from Cajun. That's going to be Nico down, and he didn't really do any damage. Oh no! The timing for Cadian. It gets worse! He delayed the plant. It's a 3v3. They've got to run back for the bomb, and maybe that's too much time lost here. Cajun's got a lot of work to do, but he can't do it. It's up to Christo now. And he's only got a deagle. Cadian. That denial of the bomb plant was everything.
It's huge. Christo will still try to bring it back, though. Picks up an off of his dead teammate. And he's not getting any looks just yet. Heroic are playing this very methodically, trying to make it work off their teammates. But Christo creates a one-way for himself, takes down Tessus, now has discovered the position of another player. And he'll go for that default plan. At least he'll secure money into what may be the final round of the series for his team. And he'll back off the angle. He has a Molotov as well. This may come into play, but Stown does have a smoke, and he can smoke that bomb. Christo, though, not even going to pull out any nades. Just going to push on forward with the op. Will take down Borup. And now it's a one-on-one situation. Christo, he wants to get that Molotov involved, but Stown still does have the counter. So it's really just a matter of who can hit the shot. And if Christo can play the timing, Stown clearing the close angles out, knows that Christo is likely in the halls at this point, and there it is. The counter is there. Christo, he has to hit the shot. He does! What? Instantly takes out Stown, giving North a little bit more life in this match.
Was he even on the ground when he shot that? His crosshair was nowhere near him, was it?
No, it was to the right of him.
He's just running and shooting.
I don't know, that's a CSGO.
It was one bullet fired as well.
He just looks so confident.
What on God's earth is that?
This was such a great play from Cadian.
It was. It really was.
Oh, boy.
Let me see this again. Let me see this deagle shot again. This is outrageous. What?
Oh, God.
What on earth is that? That is one way to complete a clutch.
Yeah.
That's a sick clutch.
Well,
from Christo.
they've won the round, but they still have a worse buy. They've got the UMP out onto Cage and B and 2 Galils, so this kind of makes things more even with the M4s versus the AKs, or lack thereof, just one on Christo. So there's plenty more work for North to do, and that's decimated the money for both these squads. So one of these teams is going to be in a lot of trouble after this round.
Tessus. It's just so awesome how reliably he's getting damage there. He's really playing the ladder room pretty effectively. It's really hard to play that position. It feels like you're dancing with death pretty much constantly. It's a lot of meta that you have to understand with this position. It's always a really fun dynamic to watch, and that incendiary will slow down timings ever still. The teams really want to split at the same time. Oh no, Nico's on the push as well, and Tessus, he'll actually defend against the drop. The totem drop is not going to work out. They're going to have to be forced through the T main position, but the bomb's lost as well. It just goes from bad to worse here for North, and Heroic claim their 15th round, and they reach match and series point.
I think Heroic has put a person in ladder room almost every single round in their CT side. Usually, if you're T side, it's a lot of T teams would be licking their chops because that's one person is pretty much isolated from the rest of the team, and so you could do a numerous amount of things to kind of pick off that ladder guy before maybe falling into like a longer default or whatnot.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's like so many setups and so on. Like James was talking about it, like some of the nade setups. There's so many different types. You're right.
Every single round, there's a guy in ladder room.
Yeah, it's brought up this time. It's mostly been Tessus. I'm not sure if it's a spawn-based thing, but Tessus is playing camera right now. They might expect a completely different look. They may expect a rush here.
Oh.
He was kind of backing up into that grenade,
Yeah.
which is a little strange, but
It looked like Tessus is way more
Not worth
comfortable
it.
on that position. You're right.
Yeah.
But that's what North needed to do. They need to get that pick in ladder room. Now they can kind of work the map, and it looks like they decided to go right into an intertake.
Oh, Nika's position is actually very good to deal with this because they're not putting anyone towards upper, which allows him free reign to deny the plant. And if he just denies the plant, that's already huge. In fact, now he's going to slow down the plant, pick someone off. He's got upper presence here.
oh,
Wow.
That's
great.
insane.
the chunks.
In the dome.
This
Well,
could be
looks
it.
like it might be curtains for North because they just don't have position. There's high ground for Heroic. They're everywhere. The net is closing. Christu, the last man standing. Nico looks away, looks back, and he doesn't have an angle for the bomb. The bomb's planted on the other side of the train, so they can just hold the defuse at this point. They know where he is. It's so hard whichever way he chooses to go to try and get back there, because where else could they plant the bomb? And I think the inevitable has happened now. 16-10 for Heroic.
Yeah, really well played by Heroic. They will win the series against North. It's unfortunate that North had so many struggles and really it looked like they found it quite difficult to adjust against their Danish comrades. Unfortunately, that is the way that it goes sometimes. And today, it wasn't the best story in the world for North. But you know what? We can break that down more after the break.